So now that I am putting the 12 vein pump in the Superjet, I'm going to end up losing the stock Bilge pump. So I've been looking at buying another kit for the Superjet, the same as what I put on the blaster. If you didn't see that video, which I'm assuming most of you did, this one came with the switch that mounts under the main start-stop kill switch. It came with everything you need to put it in and everything, except for the inline fuse that I had. But that kit was, I think, like 167, like 170 plus tax, so you're talking almost 200 bucks. I know that's terrible math, but just under 200 bucks to do that one, which was nice because it had pretty much everything. But I don't know if y'all saw, and I think I threw it in one of my videos or something, but that kit came with this flex tube right here. I don't know if y'all can see that very good. But on one end, right here, you can see it's split. And it's split on the end that I put over here where the actual outlet was at. Right there on that. So I ended up having to replace it. I like the fact that it had the bracket and like down near the mid shaft and everything. I like the bracket set up because of everywhere you see, everybody's talking about, well, when you glue it down, it comes up, and I'll just glue it back down, blah, 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 blah. I don't want to keep having to glue it and make sure it stays down, and obviously I'm not just wanting to cruise around, I'm wanting to jump it, jar and everything, so I want it fixed and secured. Well, I've done my research, kind of looked around, and pretty much bought everything exactly the same except for the switch. This is the kit that I got. I found the bracket. I think Showtime is the one that sells this bracket. It's pretty much the exact same bracket. It's not adjustable like the one that I put on the blaster, but it's the exact same. I mean, you can still mount the original bilge and everything if you want to keep it in there too, but it mounts on the mid shaft, same spot. So I bought this. I think it was around 20 something bucks. I got my red fitting, and I got the exact same bilge pump that I put on there. It's got all the wires and everything. So I got that. I think it was like 16 bucks. But the other thing, the switch is like, just the switch is like 90 something bucks if you want to buy it with the mounting bracket on the bottom of that. I'm not a big fan of it because it's kind of upside down. I mean, you can reach it and fiddle with your thumb and turn it off and on, but I don't like it. The way the wire runs, it kind of looks bulky up on the handlebars. So I wanted to come up with something a little cleaner. So I bought these. It came with two. It's just it's a waterproof switch, a little push button, waterproof switch. Comes with a cap and everything and a seal to seal it. So I'm going to try this. I paid like $4 for two of these. So if this one goes bad, I can put another one or vice versa. Whatever I want to do with the switch. If I want to put dual bilges, I can have two switches or whatever. But that's the one I've done. And as far as where I'm going to put it, what I came up with, because I didn't do the dash delete for when I put all this back together, but what I've done is I put the switch right there. So right there is where the switch is. So I've got my on-off for the gas, and then I've got my primer right here, and then obviously the bracket for holding the hood down. But I mounted it right here. There's a good gap behind right here, so you can have it and have the wires. And I pop just a small hole right here, and I'll silicone that up once I go to put everything back together. But that's kind of the setup I came up with. I think it'll work great as long as the switch holds up, which I know it's a cheap switch. So I know most people get the little toggle switches and everything put on there, but just that switch is like 40 bucks. So like I said, $4 for two of these. So I'm gonna give this a try. I think it'll be pretty easy. You know, you're in the tray, you can still reach and just push right there very easily. So, and like I said, if I want to do dual bilge, which I may end up going with dual, I can put the other one right here and everything and have them on their own separate switch. But yeah, that's the setup that I came up with. I think total for everything aside from the hose. So I'm going to go buy the hose because obviously the flex tube busted, but I'm going to buy about probably like 2 feet of the clear tubing. Worst case scenario, $10 on it. But everything else that I purchased, I mean everything else here you see, I spent $71. So you're talking roughly $80 for everything, whereas the blaster was, like I said, 170 plus tax for that kit, and it's besides the switch up there, I mean it's massive difference in price. But that's what I'm going to go with, and maybe it'll give y'all some other ideas, because like I said, I really liked the fact that it's hard mounted to this and you can put it in there. Way better than trying to epoxy it to the bottom of the hole and all that, which I'm planning on painting all this with that Total Boat Bilge paint. But that's my plan. But I think it's a clean little setup. Hopefully it'll help y'all make your mind up if you want to spend the roughly $200 for the full kit like that, or make your own little kit for roughly $80. So thanks for watching. We'll see y'all next time.